Hello, students. We are going to start with the third chapter of history, that is, the Turkish invasions. In this chapter, we are going to learn about two Turk rulers, Mahmud of Ghazni and Muhammad Ghori. We will also learn about the reasons for the success of the Turks and the impact of the Turkish invasions. During the 10th and the 11th centuries AD, the Turkish tribes invaded large parts of Central Asia and established various small Turkish kingdoms which came under the Islamic influence in the short period of time. The two most important cities were Ghazni and Ghor in Central Asia, and the rulers of these two cities invaded the Indian subcontinent in the 11th and 12th centuries. There were two main reasons for their invasion. First, they wanted to expand their kingdom, and secondly, they found it easy to plunder the wealth of India because at that time there was no political unity in the northern kingdoms. The first Turkish ruler to invade India was Sabuktigin, who attacked Jayapala, a Shahi dynasty ruler, and after defeating Jayapala, Sabuktigin acquired the region west of Peshawar and the vital Khyber Pass. Mahmud of Ghazni. Sultan Mahmud was the eldest son of Sabuktigin, who expanded the empire further. He made Ghazni his capital and he wanted to make Ghazni the most powerful place in the region by raising a large army. And for this he needed money, which he wanted to acquire by plundering the wealth of the various splendid temples of northern India. He invaded India 17 times in 26 years from 1000 AD to 1026 AD. Mahmud captured Peshawar by defeating Jayapala, who was a Hindu ruler of Punjab, who burnt himself to death when Sultan Mahmud forced him to pay a tribute. His son Anandapala formed an alliance with the rulers of some important states of West and Central Asia, but Anandapala too was defeated like his father. In this war, Mahmud gained the rich plains of northwestern India. His next battle was with the Hindu Shahi rulers, whom he defeated and got a large tribute from them. He also plundered the wealth of the rich temple towns like Nagarkot, Kangra, Thaneshwar, Mathura, Kannauj, Somnath, and the forts of Gwalior and Kalinjar. Attack on the Somnath temple in Kathiawar, Gujarat was his most ambitious and profitable expedition. Mahmud carried away vast treasures from India and used that wealth to transform Ghazni into a magnificent capital city with many gardens, mosques, libraries, museums, colleges, and he also founded a famous university in Ghazni. Mahmud was a gifted soldier. He used swift horses in the battles, which gave him an advantage over the slow moving elephants which were used by the Indian rulers. He was a patron of art and learning. He invited scholars to his court and collected literary works from all parts of the world. Al-Biruni and Firdausi were famous scholars and poets in his court. Al-Biruni produced one of the finest works on astronomy, mathematics, geography, and philosophy called Kitab-ul-Hind, while Firdausi wrote the Shahnama, one of the great epics. After Mahmud's death in 1030 AD, the Ghazni Empire disintegrated rapidly, and for about the next 150 years, North India remained free from the foreign attacks. That's all for today, children. We will continue this chapter in the next class. Thank you.